Salut, c'est Mathieu de Ludovox et aujourd'hui je suis avec Isaac Vega, le designer de l'auteur de Ashes qu'on a ici, qui va nous présenter, mais aussi de Dead of Winter. Hi Isaac, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
So it's the second day of the GenCon so far, and what about the how has it been going? Is it the craze?
It's been going absolutely fantastic. We had a huge line on the first day and sold tons and tons of ashes. We only have a few left here to sell at the show, so we're probably going to sell out today, and I couldn't be more ecstatic.
You don't know yet, but this one is mine. So you have published before Dead of Winter, and can you tell me, do you have any plans, upcoming plans for Dead of Winter?
Yes, I'm actually working on a standalone expansion for the game. It's going to be another full box. You're going to be able to have tons of new characters that are coming and be able to play the entire game right outside of the box, but everything's going to be able to be mixed with the old Den of Winter as well, so you're going to have tons more crosser cards, tons more characters. There's going to be new locations that are able to flip and have story events to change the locations as well. There's going to be new zombies called Frostwalkers. There's going to be these bandits that come in and have an interesting mechanic there. Raxon is going to be a new location that comes in, and you're going to be able to find out more of the mysteries of how the apocalypse started to take place. And there's just tons of cool little things that are going to be taking place in the expansion. We're expecting that probably GenCon next year, maybe a little bit earlier.
So will there be another animal? Because I played Sparky last time and he read all the books. So that was a bit ridiculous. He had a sniper gun and read all the books, especially the Good Leader book and the Kung Fu book.
There might be another animal, but we're not 100%. He hasn't went into testing yet, so I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be in there. But we like the fun of it, so we'll see.
Okay, thank you. So your latest game is Ashes: Rise of the Phoenixborn. So it's a card game. It looks like a collectible card game, but well, tell us about it.
Well, it's an expandable card game, so it's working a lot like Netrunner, LCGs, and other formats that you guys have seen before. It's very much a dueling head-to-head card game, a lot in the same vein of Magic the Gathering. But what makes this game different is that you're able to start the game with 5 cards of your choice in your hands. You have 10 dice that act as your resources throughout the game. You're able to take spells and put them on your spell board, battlefield, and your characters determine how big those spell board and battlefields become. Those spells that you have in your spell board are things that you're going to be able to reuse over and over throughout the game. You'll even be able to focus them and make them more powerful as the game goes on. And you're also having an interesting back and forth gameplay mechanic, which focuses on a main action and a side action. So you're going to be able to very much change your strategy as the game goes forward in the game, because you're going to be able to react to what your opponent is doing. So you take an action, your opponent takes an action. You take an action, your opponent takes an action. It feels like you're in a fight, dueling back and forth.
Okay, so with a lot of back and forth involved. So how do we play the game, actually? So you told me that we had a hero, so here I probably think I am a Saria Guideman.
Yeah, this is a phoenixborn right here. They're going to tell you how much life you have, and they're going to tell you what your battlefield size and what your spellboard size are going to be. Your battlefield is going to be an area for different units to come into play. You're also going to have your spellboard, which is going to be where you're going to be able to play spells that you can use throughout the game. You can use your units to attack your opponent. They're going to be able to use units to defend. Now, units will be exhausted as they attack and defend throughout the game. They'll go ahead and take wounds throughout the game, and if they ever have wounds equal to their life value, they get killed, but if they survive the round, they can go ahead and recover too and remove wound tokens as well. Your character is also going to have a special ability that they can use. Most of them are side actions, some are reactionary abilities. These spells can be focused if you have multiple copies of them, so you can use multiple times, bringing out different units from your conjuration pile that you can bring out and summon. You have these dice right here that you're able to use to bring out different spells, pay for different costs as well, and exhaust different spells. So it has a lot of interesting little mechanics, but a lot of it's very simple. Most of it is you're paying for this cost to bring out this card. You have this action that you're spending throughout the game, and you can go ahead and spend it. And you have so many different options of how that is going to go forward.
So we win by reducing the opponent's life to 0, and this conjuration deck reminds me of the crypt in Vampire: The Eternal Struggle, where the vampires are in a pile and all of the other cards are in another pile, another deck. And what about the? You said that it was akin to Magic the Gathering and Netrunner. What about the deck building aspect? Do we have the same deck, or can we change it?
You can totally change it. There's 6 decks that come in the box ready for you to be built. In the rule book, it tells you how to build those decks, but you can go ahead and deck build however you want. You'll notice that all the cards are able to be mixed and matched between the different Phoenixborns. The only cards that are required to be in a Phoenixborn's deck are the ones that have the symbol of their character on there. Everything else can be deck built around. So you have tons of different options on decks and options that you can go ahead and make. I wanted it to be as fluid as possible so people could explore the different mechanics in the game.
And about the expansion of the game, how do you plan to release expansions? Is it going to be like one hero in a box with a few cards and a few neutral cards, or is it going to be big boxes like this one, like every 6 months or a year?
Every expansion that we plan on doing, from this point out, we're working on little ones right now, very much similar to the Summoner Wars expansion packs that we did. It's going to be one hero with his own deck that you can go use those cards to go ahead and expand your game and create other decks out of as well. We have 2 in the works that are going to be going into playtesting soon, hopefully releasing in about 3 to 4 months, and then we have 2 more after that that are going to be going into playtesting as well. After that, we might be releasing additional dice sets and doing smaller boxes with decks, but something this big will probably only come out every 2 years. We want to keep people interested in the game, keep letting in new cards into the system, but we also don't want to overwhelm the customer base. We don't want them to feel like they have to spend tons and tons of money to keep up with what's going on. We want to hit a healthy balance. Okay,
well, thank you very much for this. Do you have any other plans for other games, or besides the standalone expansion for Dead of Winter and the expansions for Ashes?
Well, we're also moving forward on working on the Lost in Space Crossroads game. We're still working on that and moving that forward. I have another mech game that I'm working on, but it's very, very, very secretive right now. But I'm very excited about that too. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more stuff coming out from me and other things coming out from Plaid Hat Games. We have Tail Feathers in the works. We still have Seafall coming out. So there's tons of stuff that you guys can be paying attention to.
Plus, Plaid Hat has been acquired, or not really acquired. They merged, I think, with Z-Man Games and VOSTFR and Pretzel Games. So I don't know your position in Plaid Hat Games. If you are the in-house designer, yes.
I'm the lead game designer and art director at Plaid Hat Games.
So what about this position in the company? How do you direct art? Can you tell us about this job? Because we also like to focus on other aspects of board games, such as publishing and directing perspectives. So how do you direct art? Yeah,
well, I have a wonderful cast of artists that I'm able to work with, one of which who's here today, Fernanda. Say hi to the camera. Hi. Fernanda's the artist for Dead of Winter and Ashes. She does amazing, amazing work. And how we work together is that I go ahead and come up with different concepts. I create sheets on the characters. I create little story blurbs on the characters. Send her reference material in order for her to look at. Then she sends me back sketches. We go ahead and discuss those sketches, either approve them, move forward, or make changes at that point, and then get to the point where we start seeing final colors and final pieces. And me and Fernanda have hit such a nice flow. We work together super well. Me and my other artists also work the same way, and we've been, as moving forward, we've been able to develop quite the system in order to create exactly what we're looking for and create pieces that are stunning and get attention and do well in the board game market.
Well, thank you very much for these insights, and I hope to hear from you very soon. On our website probably, but otherwise, will you be at Essen next October?
I will be at Essen. This is going to be my first Essen, so I'm very excited about it. Hopefully you guys can show me around.
Sure. For me, it will be my first Essen as well, but the other guys have been already. So see you there.
Good. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
À bientôt sur Ludovox. Salut.